Welcome. This is Understanding Holiness with Bill and Diane Ury.
Now let me go back. I said there were three. Exodus 3 is preceded by Genesis chapter 2, where God says in verse 3 of Genesis 2, I'm going to make a day holy, the Sabbath day. So remember what that beautiful picture is. It's Adam and Eve, made in God's image, and they come into a relationship in time and space of walking in mutual love and trust, total trust in God. They believe in who He is. And the Lord says, that's what I want. I don't want you to obey a bunch of rules or act super spiritual. I just want you to walk with me, to be with me. Let my presence permeate not just a day, but your lives. That's what God's always wanted. And the shocking thing is that we chose something opposite of that. Every one of us have said, no, I don't want your holiness. I don't want to walk with you in total trust. I want to trust myself. In fact, I want to love myself. And that's what unholiness is. Sin is unholiness. It's moving to the exact opposite of shared trust and mutual relationship. We trust ourselves and love ourselves, and we damage everything in our lives. And the Lord says, all right, how am I going to change that? Slowly and lovingly, He comes to us and says, I'm going to redo all that you've broken. And that's why the second time the word holiness occurs is so intriguing to me. It's one of the weirdest chapters, and no pastor I've ever known has ever preached on it because it's so difficult. But in Genesis 38, we find that a patriarch, whose name is Judah, has sex with his daughter-in-law. And when he goes to pay her off, he tells his colleague, go and find that holy woman. Which shows to us immediately what holiness has become when you remove the Holy One from a concept of holiness. We take everything He's made and pervert it. We think it's holy, but it's all about us. It's about our way, our sexuality, our doing, our morality, apart from Him. And it always damages every relationship. So from that point, from that weird, perverted story, the Lord says, I'm going to redefine who I am to you. And so we come to this third passage, which is shockingly simplistic to me. It's almost embarrassing. You've got a shepherd, whose name we know, on the backside of the desert, and God shows up in a bush, inflames the bush with His presence, the fire-like presence of God, holy love, and He says to Moses, by calling his name, I want you to take your shoes off. The ground upon which you are walking is holy. Which means to me that God is saying, I have given you clearly what I want you to be. I can make you like me. I can make you holy. You have produced everything that's the opposite of holiness. But now I want to offer to you my original intention, starting from the ground up. And I love that because sometimes I feel dirty and filthy and unappealing and whatever it is. And the Lord says, no, I know what you're made for. You're made for me. You're made for my love. And that holy love that I want to pour into your life can make you what you were created to be. But before I ever get to that, I've got to realize who He is. And He says, Bill, I'm the Holy One. If you want to know who I am, I hear you. I am present. I remember you. I hear your agonizing cries, all the things He heard about of the people of Israel in this marvelous book of Exodus. But He comes to an individual, like He comes to you and me and says, I want to show you who you are as well. You are unholy, but I want to make you holy. I'm intrigued that Moses takes off his sandals. For me, that represents any barrier, any place where I say, I'm going to do this myself. I can make myself good or moral or holy. He says, no, take off your sandals. Where you stand is where I am present. Come as close to me as you can, and I'll make you like myself. We need to know who He is, and we need to know who we are. If He's holy, then I can say, Lord, do in me a work that's worthy of yourself.
Take a moment to reflect on the following. Thank you for joining us as we seek to better understand biblical holiness.